Welcome to Business English News. I'm teacher Luciano De Vecchi, and these are some pieces of news from last week, ending on February 14th. And these sentences, these structures are made easier for you guys so you can have more basic practice of your reading and listening about business English and what's happening in the world. So let's start with AI Summit in Paris. French President Emmanuel Macron held a meeting about artificial intelligence, AI. So he held a meeting. So to hold a meeting is the same as to have a meeting, right? So he received people there. So held is a very common collocation, artificial intelligence and AI. He wants Europe to work faster on AI and stay competitive. But the US and Britain did not sign an agreement about AI rules. America's vice president warned that too many rules could slow down progress. Next one is about Elon Musk's offer for OpenAI. Elon Musk offered $97 billion to buy OpenAI, to purchase OpenAI. So a synonym that is very common in this world is purchase. But we are using more basic vocabulary, so we are using buy. An AI company he helped start. But, however, we could be using it here as well. OpenAI's boss, Sam Altman, said no. Instead, he jokingly offered to buy Musk's social media company X for $9.74 billion, which corresponds to 10% of the value, the offer, the bid. The bid is the amount of money you try. It was very common if you guys used in the past eBay. You could buy it new, cash, pay the entire price, or there was the bid, the auction, right? SoftBank's loss. SoftBank, a Japanese company, lost $2.4 billion because some of its tech investments lost value. The company will find new ways to fund its AI project with OpenAI. Trump's tariffs on steel and aluminum. So Donald Trump plans to add a 25% tax on steel and aluminum from other countries. The EU, European Union, said it would respond with similar taxes. So here when the word finishes with X, with S, so here we have ES, this is the plural, that's why we have it. So S, double S, SH, CH, X, O, Z, we have the plural with ES, taxes. China has already added its own taxes on American goods. I've heard some people trying to buy something from China who live in the US that they can already see it. Is it true? Write in the comments if you guys. Here, for us here in Brazil, it started last year, even more taxes for the purchases from China. But we are from BRICS, right? So we should have more benefits, right? But let's continue. BP's low profits. BP made $8.9 billion in 2024, its lowest profit since 2020. Many investors are unhappy, so BP promised to change its business strategy. A hedge fund called Elliott Management bought shares in BP, which made its stock price rise. People usually mispronounce this word management, to manage. So let's be careful with the way you pronounce this one, management. Chevron cuts jobs. So people losing jobs, lay off, it's another synonym. People being fired, losing jobs. Chevron, an oil company, will reduce its workforce by 20% before 2026. It wants to save money after weak earnings. Weak, which is the opposite of strong. Different from strong, right? The opposite. Weak, strong. But for medicines or teas, we might say mild and strong. Strong coffee, mild coffee. Battery company expands, becomes bigger, expands. CATL, a Chinese company that makes electric car batteries, wants to sell shares in Hong Kong. This will help it expand its business worldwide. Foxconn, interested in Nissan shares. Foxconn, the company that makes iPhones, wants to buy Renault's shares in Nissan. But it will only do this if Nissan helps it develop electric cars. Unilever spins off ice cream business, separates, splits, divides. So Unilever will create a separate company for its ice cream brands, like Ben & Jerry's. It will be listed on stock exchanges in Amsterdam, London, and New York by the end of the year. US inflation rises again. Prices in the US rose by 3% in January, the fourth month in a row. Consequently, in a row of seats is a sequence, so 4 months in a row. The head of the US Central Bank, Jerome Powell, said he's in no rush to lower interest rates. So he's no rush. He's not in a hurry. Relax, chill out, people. To lower, to put them down, decrease interest rates. UK economy grows slightly. So the UK economy grew by 0.1% in the last 3 months of 2024. This was better than expected, as many thought it would shrink, become smaller. Like when you buy a t-shirt made of cotton, it might shrink the first time you wash it, becomes smaller. Shrink can also be a psychologist, but here is the verb to become smaller, would be smaller. Overall, the economy grew by 0.9% in 2024. Companies drop diversity rules. Some big companies are changing their diversity policies. Disney removed a rule that linked executive pay to diversity. Goldman Sachs no longer requires diverse company boards before giving financial advice. People usually confuse this word. Advice is an uncountable word, so we don't say an advice. We have to say a word of advice or a piece of advice. So we can say a word of advice or a piece of advice. Be careful with this. We don't have an advice. Can you give me an advice? That would be wrong. So can you give me a word of advice? Can you give me a piece of advice? Or don't say anything. Just say advice. And the verb is to advise with a Z sound. And you spell it with an S. So this is the verb. Advice, advise. Deloitte US told staff to remove gender pronouns from emails. Companies are changing. And the last one, Trump stops making pennies. Trump ordered the US to stop making 1-cent coins, which are called pennies. It costs 3.7 cents to make each penny. So it's a waste of money. Some people argue this will make things more expensive for consumers. Any comments about, please write it down there in the section for the comments. Your opinions about any of these. Would you like to continue having this kind of news about the world, business, made easier this way? If you like it, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and take care. See you in the next one. Bye.